Today, the United States southern border in El Paso, Texas, was attacked by illegal immigrants who pushed through National Guard soldiers because they were told to stand down by President Joe Biden. 600 illegal immigrants of military-aged men waited on the Texas border. Then this morning, 100 of them rushed and attacked the soldiers. I'll be going into more detail on this in the broadcast. I'll also cover the exact properties that Judge Engoron and Attorney General Letitia James of New York have decided and publicly filed to steal from Donald Trump. I'll also tell you about a secret illegal immigrant camp that the White House and the state of New York hoped you would not find out about, but the cat is out of the bag. Plus, I want you guys to stick with me to the end. I'm going to share a story out of New York, and I want to hear from you guys in the comments what you think. But sadly, this story had me on the verge of throwing up, but I want to hear your thoughts. I'm really worried about the justice system in the United States. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. When you hit that like button, it helps me because it tells YouTube to share this broadcast with more people. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button. The state of New York has officially taken steps to attempt to seize Donald Trump's properties in Westchester County, New York, following the $454 million civil fraud judgment against him from Judge Arthur Engoron. The judgment was registered in the county on March 6th, signaling that Trump's assets, including Trump National Golf Course Westchester and his Seven Springs estate, could be at risk of being confiscated and shut down if he fails to post the $454 million bond. New York Attorney General Letitia James has indicated readiness to seize Donald Trump's assets if he does not pay the $454 million on March 25th. That is the deadline, and Judge Engoron has decided that he must pay 120% of the bond in order to file his appeals filing. Now, sadly, I believe by next week, I'll be reporting that Donald Trump, the former United States president that got 74 million votes, will have his coveted properties stolen out from under him in an attempt to block him from the payment on the fraudulent fraud case brought by Letitia James. With this being said, Trump has requested a New York appeals court to either waive the bond, which didn't exist before they changed the law in order to get Donald Trump, or at least reduced to the $100 million Trump has in cash. The judgment stems from the findings by Judge Arthur Engoron that Trump and his sons, Eric and Don Jr., inflated assets in order to get loans, although the banks involved reported satisfaction and that they did not lose any money on any of the transactions, and all of the payments were paid back. While Donald Trump grapples with mounting legal costs, his fundraising campaign is struggling. Biden's reelection team has dubbed the former president Broke Don, spotlighting his struggles in fundraising and the amount of money he has on hand to defend himself. Despite Trump's campaign managing to raise $10.9 million, Joe Biden was able to bring in $53 million, leaving Donald Trump significantly behind on running for president. In a campaign email, Biden claimed Donald Trump has been hiding in his basement instead of campaigning, effectively mocking and stealing the words Donald Trump used to describe Joe Biden back in the summer of 2020. Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, responded to the rumor about Trump potentially seeking financial aid from foreign countries like Saudi Arabia or Russia to manage his hefty legal cost. During a Fox News interview, Alina Habba, Trump's lawyer, highlighted the commitment to following public rules and regulations, but stopped short of revealing Trump's strategic plan. While this response may seem suspiciously broad to some, it's worth noting that it's illegal for foreign countries to donate to a presidential candidate. And so I think out of an abundance of caution, they are just trying to be very upfront that everything they are doing in order to meet the demand of the court and also comply with the rules around running for president, that everything is kosher and above board. Oh my gosh, I see you guys making your comments. I want you to know I'm not ignoring you. There's just a lot to get through, but thank you guys so much for being on tonight and for supporting the channel. Oh yeah, New York is sick. Yeah, I agree. It's about to get worse. Stick with me to the very end. You guys are going to be absolutely blown away. Somebody asked, what was the previously you used to have to put up 10% of the amount of money. They're requiring Donald Trump to put up 120%. So it used to be 10, now it's 120%. You can't tell me that all of this isn't strategically designed to get Donald Trump to drop out of the election. However, somehow this man continues to push forward. Anyway, this is what's going on. Now, U.S. Congress is on the brink of voting for a $1.2 trillion spending bill, which was unveiled today at 3 a.m. And people were given almost no time to read through what is in this bill. Speaker Mike Johnson is advancing the bill through a streamlined process known as suspension of the rules, a tactic that's employed to sidestep conservative Republican opposition by requiring a 2/3 majority for passage. This method, while expediting the bill's movement, has sparked criticism for skirting through scrutiny and marginalizing conservative concerns. With only limited concessions to conservative members, the threat of shutdown is imminent, and they're just trying to pass this in the middle of the night. Well, now let me know, a $1.2 trillion spending bill with almost no time to read it. Is this a scam? Like, am I thinking about this incorrectly? Something doesn't smell right. It's crazy, you guys. They're just throwing our money, the money they steal from us through taxation. They're just throwing it anywhere they can, but to the American people. So what are people saying about this new bill? Critics argue the bill falls short on adequately addressing border security issues, which is contributing to a sense of exclusion among several lawmakers. While the bill is anticipated to clear the House, it will then be passed to the Senate, where it may encounter additional delays. Now, as a heads up, Congress is way behind on getting this bill approved. But let me know in the comments, don't you think that's on purpose? That they literally bring this down to midnight of the last day so that they can push through all of the bull crap and the pork spending and the pet projects that they want, or else they start to badmouth the other party. Oh, they don't want Americans to get this money, but then they slip through billions and billions and billions of dollars of crap and garbage. Now, a government shutdown is supposed to take place on Saturday morning, which is why they are trying to ram this thing through the House and then over to the Senate and then over to old Joey Biden's desk so that he can sign $1.2 trillion into law. With border security on the forefront of everyone's mind, today's attempted invasion should wake everybody up. Last night, on the border of El Paso, Texas, a group of over 600 military-aged men gathered on the border. No women, no children, 600 military-aged men. Earlier today, 100 of those illegal immigrants rushed the border in El Paso, Texas, knocking over Border National Guard, cutting through wire, pulling down fencing. While they successfully got through the first layer of barbed wire, their attempt to enter the country was cut short because of a heavily fortified wall that Texas had put up, not the federal government, but the state of Texas. Now, you guys, our country is being attacked. It's being invaded. Literally, hundreds of people are just waiting to invade the country. And that's just one little section. There's 29 points of entry across the Texas border, also Arizona, Louisiana, Florida, and California. Now, this was only 100 people, but they overran the area. Now, gratefully, there was the barricaded wall, but our sitting president is right now suing the state of Texas to forcefully remove that barrier. He's suing to allow these 600 plus military-aged men to be allowed to rush the border, to hurt our military soldiers. And literally, they were told, stand down, don't fire a shot, don't lay your hands on these men. If you get knocked down, let it happen. So basically, these people are impotent. They have no protection or authority to be able to defend the border. These illegal immigrants have more rights than our men and women in uniform who are left vulnerable to attack. They are unprotected. And literally, they have more rights than our own U.S. military men and women who are serving our country, trying to keep our border safe. Ed Dan says, it is time Speaker Johnson shut down the government and demand border security. I think we only get one shot at shutting it down until Trump comes back. I think you're right, Ed, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'll bet you tomorrow I'll be reporting on this bill, and most likely Texas is going to have to remove these barriers. You guys, this is only one section, and this is what has me nervous. You think the cartel wasn't watching how Biden responded today? You think the cartel wasn't paying attention that, wait a minute, if we rush the border with enough people, they don't do anything about it. Literally, it's a free-for-all to enter the United States of America. Now, I'm sorry to be pessimistic. I'm usually one of the most optimistic people you might ever meet in your whole life, but it is just absolutely sad what we are seeing right now. While New York focuses on allegations against Donald Trump that appear to have no cause of direct harm, a significant migrant shelter in southern Brooklyn has quietly existed without much public awareness. Well, we're going to shine light on it tonight. To give you an idea of the scale, New York City has seen an influx of approximately 175,000 illegal immigrants. You guys, there's cities in Utah where I live that don't have 175,000 people. Recent viral videos on social media have revealed large white tents stretching as far as the eye can see, accommodating thousands and thousands and thousands of illegal immigrants from diverse backgrounds. This development has largely been overlooked by the mainstream media. Only local citizen journalists are filling us in on this story. I didn't even know it was happening until today, and I read for hours and hours on your behalf. They've been hiding this. They've been hiding this almost in plain sight. New York is completely open to being overrun. They say, oh yeah, just come on in and feel free to commit crimes. We don't really care. All right, now here's that story that I wanted to tell you about New York. Now I'm going to cover this as delicately as I can. 4 people were arrested in New York for killing, dismembering, and chopping up the bodies of 2 victims. Those involved in this crime tried to flush body parts down the toilet and then grind them up in the kitchen disposal, leaving both the toilet and the disposal inoperable. However, today, the New York court allowed these 4 extremely dangerous people out with no bail bond, as long as they will stay at home and wear their ankle bracelets. What the heck is going on in New York? So you're telling me that Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, has to post a $454 million bond, but 4 killers can get out as long as they agree to go home and wear ankle bracelets? Like, you guys, I feel like I'm living in the wackiest Twilight Zone episode I've ever seen. It's crazy. New York is rotting. Goodbye, America. This is disgusting. It is disgusting. I cannot believe this. You guys heard, I tried to delicately, like without gory details, tell you what these 4 people did and hid in New York, and they let them out as long as they're willing to wear an ankle bracelet. Meanwhile, if your last name is Trump, you're in big, big trouble. I mean, like, I literally have no confidence in the New York justice system. Sad. Well, Biden looks bad. The father of Laken Riley, the young woman who was killed by an illegal immigrant in Georgia, spoke before the Georgia State Senate today. I'm not going to read you his entire speech. I'll just take one snippet out, but here's what Mr. Riley had to say. I stand before you a heartbroken man. Part of my purpose has been taken. God gave me a beautiful daughter to father, protect, provide for, and nurture. A man with an evil heart stole her life. He was in this country and in this state illegally. My vision for every senator in this chamber is that you protect citizens from this illegal invasion. I can't even imagine being in this father's shoes. I have 2 daughters myself. I would literally lose my mind. I would lose my mind. I don't know that I could control myself. He did a good job of controlling himself, but and then Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris, their response to this, please don't call him illegal. Don't call. You can call him undocumented. You can call him a newcomer. But don't you dare call him an illegal, even though he was illegally in the country. Wow. Out of the mud ministry, dear ones, they're already here. And as a Texas resident, I'm so proud of what Texas has done and keeps trying to do. But we know what's going on, and it's a takeover to overthrow, sadly. It's going to get a lot worse. Prepare. Oh, you guys, this was one little section where 600 military-aged men were just waiting for an opening, and boom, they took it and they rushed the border, 100 of them. Not a woman in sight, not a child in sight. This is literally, they're trying to fill the country with military-aged men, and then I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, it brings me no joy to report this, but this is the story. This is the big story today. All right, now another damning story has leaked out of the White House and the Department of Homeland Security. Over 200,000 illegal immigrants are completely lost and unaccounted for in the interior of the United States because somebody at DHS didn't file the paperwork properly, and now they are lost in the system. That sounds like maybe that was on purpose. Oh, we'll just lose the paperwork for 200,000 people? Are you kidding me? It's crazy. Now, my guess is they're going to put little to no effort into tracking down and finding these 200,000 illegal immigrants. At least that's what they've done to the 100,000 missing children. If you weren't aware, over 100,000 children that have come into the United States are missing. I can't even begin to think about what is happening. Ugh. Meanwhile, President Biden raised $53 million for his reelection last month. They're literally throwing money at the worst president in our lifetime. So sad, so disgusting. All right. Hi, everybody. I see you. Thank you for being here with me. I know this is hard stuff. Some of you are saying this is really hard to watch. I agree. It is hard. This is hard stuff. Our president has failed us. The country's under attack. They don't care. There's literally Democrats giving money, $53 million to keep him in office. So messed up. So messed up. Democrats in Congress are considering supporting Ukraine aid as a loan. If we can't just give away U.S. taxpayer money, maybe we can give it to them as a loan. Even though their economy is being wiped out, the only reason that they are functioning as a society is the money that we give them. So let's give them our money, require them to pay it back. But how? With our money? That would be like, I mean, it's insanity. This is exactly what the United States did after World War II. They locked Europe into being in debt to us. I mean, but Democrats realize, wait a minute, if we can't talk these people into giving us this American taxpayer money, no strings attached, no accountability, no accounting for where the money and the weapons go, then maybe we can do a loan. That's what they say. Maybe we can do a loan. It's messed up. All right. Now, I want to hear from you. Should the United States give any more money to Ukraine? Yes or no? Yes, if you think they should. No, if you think they shouldn't. And should they do it as a loan? If you think a loan, write loan. Otherwise, yes, no, loan. I try to read as many of your comments as I can. I usually will go back at the night and try to read those. All right, let's see. AJ Diaz, are you going to cover the story by Miranda Devine on Letitia James and her alleged real estate fraud? I already covered it. Go back and watch the show from earlier. But yes, thank you for bringing that to my attention, but I've already covered it. 2 properties they're looking to steal from Donald Trump next Monday, I believe, is when they're going to start that. Thank you, AJ, for the super chat. All right, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has declined Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's request for a meeting with Senate Democrats, emphasizing the need for nonpartisan discussion on Israel. This decision followed Chuck Schumer's public criticism and calling for Netanyahu to be forcefully removed from leadership in Israel. I guess they want to do a coup in Israel like they did in Ukraine under Obama. This has caused alarm and concern, but Schumer says, I'm not going to talk to you. This makes him look incredibly weak. All right, this is my update for today. I know that this one was pretty somber and melancholy, but this is the state of our country. Before you guys go, please share this video. Share this with family members. They may not know that the country was attacked today, that our National Guard soldiers were told to stand down, to just take it. 600 military-age men on the border right now, 100 of them, rushed our military and were able to break through. Luckily, the border wall, the temporary wall put up by Governor Greg Abbott, was able to keep them from getting into the country. However, Biden is suing to have that removed and telling our soldiers, stand down, do nothing. Very, 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 very sad. All right. I love you guys. Stay strong. We're in this together. Thank you so much, Marie Carter, for the super chat. You guys don't have to do those, but I appreciate them. And I'm hoping good things for each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and I will see you on the next video.